Okay, thank you for that. Um, Now, if we look at probably at some stage, this lockdown worldwide is going to come to some kind of an end or transition. Um, what is the advice to people? How can we go forward and not just fall back into our same patterns? But at the same time, obviously, everything's going to change in a way. So, what is the advice to humans or to people in this next phase that's going to come?
The message is always the same. What do you take from this experience going forward that you will stand for and that you will commit to? So, when you have an experience like this, it trains and retrains you to do things in a very different way. How you use your car, what kind of things you buy, how you spend your time. And these things, human nature is to go back to what they know. So the fact that you guys are all going to, in 6 months' time, in a year's time, in 2 years' time, it's going to be such a faint memory. And you're going to say, oh, I wish we had still done this and this and this. I think there's going to be a lot of sadness. It's almost like a mourning that you're going to be feeling, because there's a sense of loss of this beautiful, serene dream that was created for these few months, this beautiful, clean, the silence, right, that you were
Mm.
all experiencing, this beautiful, the birds waking up, the animals, life, clean. You were all breathing in clean, fresh air. You were all exercising at home and doing stuff and being with your kids or your family or your partner, or even if you were alone, you were introspecting and working on yourself. All these things that suddenly, all the things that you wanted, like in terms of time, you got. What you did with it was up to you. But how you move forward is going to be, are you going to go back into that pattern? Well, yes, for sure. That's human nature. Human nature just goes back to what they know. But there will be a select group. There will be a few people who are going to say, you know what? These things that I've experienced now, I like and I want to keep. Either that is more time with your family, different time with your family, paying attention to the people in your life, looking and seeing what's important, not being so frivolous with what you buy, only using things that you really need, maybe traveling less by car, all of these things that you can really do to see, you know what, when we were stuck indoors, it wasn't so bad. We always thought we needed all of these things and needed to do all of these things. I think the only thing that you're going to enjoy and appreciate more is connecting with nature, because nature kind of put you all in a cage and said, you guys stay there. Let me just fix myself here quickly. You guys stay in the cage and you wait. And all of you are like, we can't be in cages. What will happen to us? And you were fine. You were absolutely fine. You actually enjoyed it. You enjoyed some of the connection and seeing the whole world going through it at the same time. And these people having worldwide exercise videos that everyone joins up, or cooking shows, or people playing with their kids, stuff they haven't done, or husbands and wives connecting again, or forcing families together, saying, hey man, this is what it's about. This is what's important. Have you forgotten what is important here? You all run towards the money, right? Now we take your money, we say, screw your money. Well, okay, let's see what happens if you don't have any money. What do you do? And now we're all like, yeah, but now you've taken our money. What do we do now? Well, you recover and you come up with new ways where maybe the systems that you were working in weren't working. You had less and less time for yourself. You had less and less time for your family. And maybe the world needs a readjustment in how we work. We don't need to work the way that we are working. We don't need to sacrifice our families and our friends and our life and our own goals as much as we do for money and for creating that money. There's a lot more that can be done from home. I think it's going to sprout more work from home and a balance between what do I do at home when I'm working and what do I do when I now have the privilege of going out again, going to the ocean, going to the mountain, to the lake, wherever you need to go to rejuvenate. You're going to appreciate that a little bit more now that you have been in your little cage, right? But you need to reframe how you think about work. This isn't working how you guys are doing it. You are burning out. You are in a continuous loop that just never stops. We've stopped the loop and said, okay, now what do you do? And are you going to get back on the hamster wheel? Are you going to just wheel yourself back in and keep going and keep going and keep going until you're like 90 years old and you die? Or are you going to do something different? And I think what the purpose here is to say, first of all, look at what's important. One, you realized health is very important. If you die, that's the end of the game, right? So, and this is what you see people who sadly have experienced it in this pandemic. There's a real preciousness to life and maybe the appreciation of it. The next thing you learn is family, really connecting with the ones you love. And it doesn't mean you have to be in their environment. You were all like, oh, but I don't see you. Well, now you didn't see them either. You still had the connection. It was about connecting to people, even though you're not in their physical space. You still had that sense of family, of clan, of unity that you had. And then the third thing that you guys learned is to appreciate nature. You guys have been messing with nature for a very, very long time, but also to see how quickly nature can recover if you just make simple changes to your life and to your existence and try and keep those things carrying forward. And the fourth thing you realize is spirituality. Whatever form, shape, or flavor you want to express that in, most of you started going, hey, we need to connect. This is awesome. Life is amazing. This is so beautiful. Oh, listen to the birds. Oh, look at my neighbor. Oh, this is so amazing. Why would you want to forget those things? Why do you want to go and put yourself back into a situation that you've just been in? Did you not just see that that didn't work for you? So it needs a massive, huge change. Stop doing what you're doing. You don't have to sit in an office. You don't have to. Who says you have to sit in an office if you can do that same job anywhere in the world, anywhere where you want to? Who's dictating your prison? You or your employer? And I think the flexibility and open-mindedness of employers out there needs to be, we need to go back to what is really important for humankind, not just the individual, me, and money-wise. What is good for families? What is good for the dad and the mom and the kids and the family and the grandparents and the parents and the people who are, there for themselves? Those things are important. So more home businesses, when you can work from home, do that. So you can spend and balance your time between, and you're going to say you're not going to be productive. For sure, you're going to be more productive. You know why? Because you're going to be happier. Happier people are more productive people. That has been proven over and over again. If you're happier, you thrive better, you want to work better, and the amount of time that you spend on work becomes smaller but more effective and more condensed. Your balance in life is totally out. The amount of time you spend on your work is ridiculous. The amount of time you spend on your family, your self-development, what you enjoy, how you enjoy this planet is limited. And yet you're all feeling the same thing, stress and this and disease and illness and all of these things that are manifestations of your lifestyle and you being on this cycle. You don't want to stop the cycle because you're scared. What happens if I stop the cycle and I change my life and I do things in a different way? Or demand it in a different way. Oh, I can't demand it from my boss. How's that going to work? Well, you haven't tried. And maybe this is exactly the opportunity where people can start saying, hey, man, I think we need to change the way we work. I think we need to change what is important. I think our working day needs to be different, structured different times, different productiveness level, more happiness. We need to change the last 50 years of what you guys have done. You think is awesome. Yes, and in certain terms you've grown. Technology's grown, everything has grown, medical advances and where your guys are, and you can now genetically modify each other, but you're still unhappy. What do you want? Do you want all of these things, or do you actually want to feel good? Do you want to enjoy your singular cognizant life, the life that you have now? There's only one that you're going to experience here in this way. Whether you believe in the future and past and coming back and not coming back, that doesn't matter, right? This is the experience that you're in now. And if this experience isn't a good one, then why are you having it? You must reevaluate what's important. And there's always excuses. Oh, but I can't, because if I really want to do what I want to do, then I can't make money. And what's going to happen to my kids, or what's going to happen to my husband? What's going to happen to me? Well, you're continuously living your life for someone else. And that's not how you should be living it. You should be living it as part of this existence, but mainly you're here for you. I know it sounds very selfish, but this is your experience, and the choices you make in this experience are your responsibility. And yes, it's good to be part of something, be part of a relationship, be part of parenting, that's vital, but not living your true self, not living what you really want to, and not being happy in what you do. Why do it? We want you to think a little bit.